Hello, this is Jordan. This video is being recorded on the afternoon of Friday, August 16, 2024. Hope you all had a great week, and I'm assuming you're all invested in gold and silver stocks, and therefore you did have a great week because this week wrapped up with gold exploding above $2,500 an ounce, closed up at $25.37. Silver was up 4.5% on the week, right up to key resistance at 29 or closed just below it. And look at the mining stocks. GDX up 7% on the week. GDXJ up over 9% on the week, and SILJ up 10% on the week. So it was a great week. A lot to look forward to over the coming days and weeks. So let's get into the video. Okay, so looking at gold and silver, these are the daily candle charts. Gold, of course, here, silver here, gold-silver ratio. Gold-silver ratio, I mean, this is very interesting. Remember, we had this big breakdown here. Then we had this big rally all the way back above 90. It's good to see in the last few days silver gaining on gold. And so this is now below 90. And so we can start to do some math with respect to gold. Remember, there's a Fibonacci target and a measured upside target, both around 2720. So that's the first target. Then if we're just looking at the simple upside target to the cup and handle, the way some people measure that comes out to around 2,900. As far as my measuring, I think it's pretty close to 3,000. So those are really the targets to look at, 2720 and then 2,900 to 3,000. And so gold a couple weeks ago, it was starting to break away from this resistance. Then it came back. It tested here right above 2,400. So I think I noted that this was the support for gold. So one test here, then up a little bit of a pullback. So now this is really in position where this can run away here to the upside and run up to 2720 and probably those other targets, 2,900 and 3,000. I'm not going to give you a time frame on that, but maybe 3,000 around the end of the year, January, December. We'll see what happens. But I'll show you the weekly chart next. But we could start to see gold kind of pull away here and gain momentum. Silver, this is going to be the question. Silver, of course, this was predictable, and it was selling off. It would bounce here around the 200-day, back test the breakout at 26. So now this is the big resistance. It rallies back to 29, close at 28.85. So this is the big resistance. You have 29, then there's resistance here on the daily, and then, of course, around 32. So more on that here on the weekly charts. I noted in the last video that gold was moving higher, but we didn't quite have the strongest candles here. This candle was, and this candle, these were not necessarily strong bullish candles. But after this week, I mean, this is a really strong bullish candle. And so there is a chance that this could get the bears really running. And so therefore, that's how a market can gain momentum, where the bears start to kind of cave in and they say, okay, well, gold, it's breaking out. It's moving higher. We tried to stop it. It's going to start to run now. So that's why we could see gold run up to 2,900, 3,000 before you get some kind of considerable pullback. And who knows, maybe that's when, the stock market goes to the bear market and you could get a little gold correction at that point. I don't see anything like 2008. That's a whole nother video for many reasons that I've already explained. I'll get into that at another date. But here's the weekly for silver. And then this is why 29 is so important. 29 was resistance here during this peak. And remember a couple months ago, I said, oh, this is classic. This is textbook action. Resistance, pullback, breakout, successful pullback, couple tests, boom, and then it's up here. Then you had this big selling here, knocked it back down, 29. Now it looks like it could reclaim 29. So if it pushes above 29, 32, this is the next weekly level. And we can go back here and look at the gold-silver ratio, 87. Is this going to fall all the way to 80 during this move? Here we are, 3,000. So if we get up to 3,000 gold, I mean, where can silver go at that point? Can it go above, can it make it to 40? Can it go above 35 because gold is leading now? Those are questions for you to think about. Maybe share your opinion in the comments. I don't have a strong opinion on that yet. So we'll see how silver performs. But naturally, the fact that gold is starting to pull away from 2,500, maybe that gets silver to reclaim the momentum it had right here. And so the key technical for silver, you look at the quarterly, monthly charts, weekly as well, there's a lot of resistance from 32 to 35. Now, remember, the measured upside target from this correction, this rough inverse head and shoulders, it's about 34, 35, depending on how you measure it. So for silver, testing resistance right now, then you have 32, then you have 34, 35. So those are the silver levels to keep an eye on. So gun to my head, I think at some point we'll start to see silver gain as gold trends toward 2720, 2900, and 3000. Okay, so let's talk about, before I get to the stocks, we can also talk about the stocks. Let's talk about the Daily Gold Premium. Go to thedailygold.com/premium to subscribe. This gives a quick look at what we provide. Every update, every week, we have a clear summary on the first page, a top 10 company table, a watch list table, model portfolio. This is a real portfolio, by the way. And people, the great thing about these tables is you can see all the important companies that we like. These tables have about a paragraph of text, all the key reasons, what resources this company have, how much are they growing production, how much cash do they have, the market cap. So all this is easily included. Like you could see this on 2 pages in less than 10 minutes. So I love doing that. I also answer subscriber questions, and I do write company reports. We are going to get more into company reports in the coming weeks. A couple weeks ago, I wrote a report on the largest holding, and then I also do some technical analysis on the individual stocks as well. So consider the Daily Gold Premium. One more thing, this is a little teaser. We talk about this in our free newsletter, but we've been talking about this company. I'm hoping to write a company report on it this week or next, but this is an exploration company, this is a no-brainer takeover target. So I'm teasing you with the notes here. Management owns over 25%, and the stock corrected 20%. So people, when you are in, and this is hard for me to do, when you are in a bull market, the really strong stocks, when they correct 15, 20%, 25, you have to buy them at that point. I mean, you're not going to see these 40 or 50% corrections until they're probably much, much higher. So for those reasons, that's why this is a stock that I'm very likely to buy very soon. I did mention another company, a top 10 candidate. This stock really exploded this week, unfortunately. I should have bought it on Monday, but I didn't. But a lot of subscribers already own it, so that's good. So consider the premium service. I mean, every dumb thing you could have done, or I could have done with investing in the sector in recent years, I've done. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years. So I have a fair bit of experience, really confident moving forward that we're going to make a lot of money in this new bull market. Now, enough of that. Let's get to the stocks. And this is really interesting. So these are the weekly charts. GDX, XJ, SILJ, the weekly candles. And let's talk about GDX. And I wrote about this in an editorial. This is coming up on 4-year resistance. This is quite the 4-year base here. You have some resistance here. Then you have weekly resistance at 40. There's only one close here. I think it's at 41. So if GDX can make a weekly close above 41, this is not only a new 4-year high, people. This is a new 12-year high or 11-year high. This is the highest close right here since the very end of 2012. So the GDX is getting really close to some significant highs. And same for GDXJ. It's obviously behind, but this is 3-year base here. One close above 47.5 right here. So it's getting close to that point where it could in the next month or two make a new 3-year high. And then also, I mean, is this a cup and handle? I mean, this is not a perfect cup and handle pattern, but we just have to entertain these possibilities. It's unconventional, but this looks like a cup, and then the recent correction, ABC, this could be a cup and handle pattern, which has, I mean, this projects, for all of these projects to even higher levels past this resistance. So that's what I'm looking at as far as the stocks. That's all for this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Please go to thedailygold.com/premium. Subscribe. You own the stocks. I think you'll be very happy with the work we do, and we'd love to have you on board. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again next week.